What's going on, guys? Okay, so coming at you again from the sauna, so sorry for the heavy breathing, but gotta do it at some point in my day. So I'm gonna give you 3 stocks to watch in the next, I would say, week to 2 weeks. I'm gonna say a week for now because keep them fresh, right? So the first stock I'm watching is MITQ. Now, I did alert this in the Discord quite early at $1.19 and $1.20, right? And then we kind of saw TKE, Trading King Eric, which is another influencer, come in and buy up. He bought at like 130. Really bad entry, honestly, if I'm being honest. Shout out to TKE. Shit entries, dude. So he bought at 130, it hit 140 on his little pump there, didn't go anywhere. And now it's kind of holding up nicely, actually. So I'm definitely watching this one the next, I would say, 3 to 5 days. We have earnings coming up on Monday, and we have some pretty solid revenue guidance. If you guys have been looking at my posts on StockTwits, you will see, and if you just read their last earnings report, you would see that this stock is actually incredibly cheap still. So I don't, the fact that TKE bought at 130, I don't think it's going to be a particularly bad decision in the intermediate term. He is, it closed at $1.31, so he is green on the trade at this point. But we have a stock buyback here, and we have earnings coming up on Monday. I'm expecting some news, just in general, an update for shareholders, because we haven't really got one here for a bit. So definitely on watch here. I like how it's setting up. I'm not seeing a ton of selling, and there's a reason for that. I would say it's because earnings is coming up and they've got some really solid guidance, and then they also have a stock buyback. So they're buying back their own shares. What does that do? That reduces the float, the free float. And what happens when you reduce the free float? The price goes up. All right, so MITQ is a no-brainer for me. I'm going to be holding this till $2. Looking for $2 on MITQ. All right. So cool. We're going to move on. I'm looking at COMS. COMS is another stock that I think will absolutely explode. If we just look at the daily chart, this one's setting up very similar to how SOBR set up. That's all I'm really going to say about this. Technicals are very bullish, very, very bullish, and I think the stock is very undervalued. I think it's a $1 stock, in my opinion. Got beat down quite a bit because of this shitty Biden market, but now that we are trending in the right direction, we're going to see a lot of pennies like this that are super cheap. They're going to fly. So this is going to be one of them that I think is going to absolutely explode. I think we'll see probably at least a 50% move here, and then in the more optimistic PTs, I would say probably around 30 cents to 40 cents to 50 cents. Hard to say it's going to get over $1 just because it's been beat down so hard, but I think we could see a nice pop here. We could see a double in price. So COMS is definitely on watch. It's my top overnight pick right now. Again, I'm holding MITQ for earnings. COMS, I'm holding overnighting. All right, and then we're going to move on here to, let's see, which one's really been tickling me? I would say IDRA. This is one that has some multi-day potential. I just really love when stocks stop hunt like this. See that big pullback there? There really wasn't a lot of volume there. They just didn't want to let this run. They didn't want to let this run fully. They said nope, and then they manipulated the stock back down, and they stopped a bunch of people out on this candle right here. So now this thing is setting up, holding nice support, definitely setting up to continue back to what it was doing before, which is running, and then the market makers, for whatever reason, decided no, we're not going to do that here, right? So now we're looking at a stock that has stop hunt a lot of traders out and now can run probably pretty freely, I would say. So I'm definitely looking for, I want to see high 60s here. But I'm looking for 55 cents to 60 cents first, and then beyond that, you look for 65, 70, 75, and then high 70s. Definitely a lot of room to run here. It's definitely a multi-day potential stock. So, yeah, I'm really liking this one. Honorable mentions, okay. Bond for sure. I'm watching. I'm in this. I got in at $1.58 with one of the biggest positions I've been in a bit. So yeah, I definitely have a stake here. So understand that. I'm in no way pumping the stock, but I think it's very undervalued. If you look at its discounted cash flow valuation, it's around $14. So, and then if you look at its gram number, it's around $6 to $6.50. So it's definitely, you know, there's a 3x potential here, like we saw with Bond, or we saw with BNSO. I mean, that 3x, very undervalued company. This is the same thing. Basically, BNSO was scaling up a bunch of their operations, and that was a lot of the reason why that stock popped. Now, if you look at Bond, they're doing the same thing in their, I think it's one of their Chinese facilities. They're scaling up 200%. So we are going to see some action here soon, in my opinion. I think this little pop here was just the loading, and yeah, we're going to see a bigger move, in my opinion. Okay, another honorable mention, CTIB. I keep mentioning it, but I love this stock. Yeah, it's setting up really nicely. It broke out there and closed above 90 cents. So, and new moon phase. So I think, you know, something could happen here. And then SYTA, definitely on watch. So those are I would say top 5. So I give you the top 3 there. Hoping everyone makes money on some of these picks. We played Pixie today from 20 cents to 28 cents. That was a really fun ride. I did not alert that in the free rooms just because it was such a fast move that I needed to alert it, and just for my VIPs. And then, you know, that's one of the perks of actually getting a membership with me is you get the alerts first. You get the entries first. That's just the way it is. All right, you pay to be there. You pay to have discipline. You pay to, it's like getting a gym membership, okay? You pay, and now you're forced to go. And if you don't go, you feel like shit. So it's the same way. If you're not putting your all into this shit, just stop, because you're going to lose money. All right, guys, I'm going to end the video there. Take care.